Welcome to my studio. So here's the reference shot, another beautiful beech tree from up at Cadbury Hill Fort. And I start with quite a tight drawing of the tree. I decided I wanted to do a pretty accurate study. So I've done a line drawing and I've taken care to put all the features that I think were relevant carefully rendered in line. And that included the edge of the shadows and the light areas, as well as the features and the main branches and some of the finer branches too, so that I have a map there already. So now I can concentrate on the colours and tonality of how I develop the rendering of the tree. I love the subtle half tones and the warms and cools that you find on the light areas of the tree. It's those subtleties that really help develop the form and describe the form of the tree, and if you don't render them properly you won't get the form of the tree correct. It won't look right, it'll just look harsh. So I've really taken my time to work on those areas and to develop them as I go along. It's still not massively tight. It being watercolour, it has to have a certain flow to it, and so some of the areas will be a little freer than the main centre of focus, which is where the main light falls upon the trunk of the tree.
There are also subtle lights within the darks, within the darkest shadows. You can pick out little bits of light and form. The modelling of the form has to be observed carefully within those areas. That's what gives it a bit more realism than if you just made a solid dark shadow. So those areas have to be carefully rendered as well.
So it's really a painting about the trunk of the tree and the branches and the design it makes on the paper, and that's what I was aiming to do. And I love the subtle blues and pinks that are hidden in amongst the more brown and grey green areas. So you've just got to be very careful when you're painting like this. Take your time, and it still comes together fairly quickly. Just don't rush anything and don't skimp. So there I'm just putting in suggestions of the tree, of the sky behind, and that helps to lighten up the trunk area. And all in all I was quite pleased with the way this went, and I've got various other studies that I want to do based on some of the material that I have from up at Cadbury. There are lots of fantastic trees and great things to study, because they, in order to look right, need to be observed very carefully. I'm working on Saunders Waterford paper, which is 300 grams, and I'm using Winsor & Newton Artists watercolours. The brush I'm using, and I use pretty much the same brush all the way through, is quite a cheap synthetic brush. I found them in an art supplier and I've got loads of them. I don't even know the make, they didn't have a brand, but they've been really good and I'm very pleased with them, so I use them as much as I can. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe and share with friends.